Welcome, another video from on the ground. As you can see behind me, there is an ONVO delivery center. Actually, it's not a store. This is on the outskirts. I'm currently in Changsha, so that's a city in more the middle of China. It's a very small town, only 10 million people. And where I am currently is where most people go to pick up their cars. So this is like a very densely occupied space here. You will see in a second, like there's one brand next to the other. Yeah, you can see finally ONVO putting out some numbers here, price tags becoming more promotional, I guess. Next to them is MG, the big guys, Audi, and if you just go across the street, there is AITO, a Huawei brand. See Seeker over there. And inside the store, I'm not going inside now, but I've seen also some NIO people, they're wearing the sweaters from NIO in the ONVO delivery center. So that's kind of aligning with this, finally getting the brands a bit closer together also in terms of operations. So some of these cost-saving things, measures that have been put into place. But, Changsha as a city is kind of reflecting a little bit the future of China in a sense that it's a quite young population. They're not as developed as, say, Beijing or Shanghai yet. So also if you look at the roads here, it will be very different to what you see in the bigger cities, in the tier 1 cities on the eastern coast. You won't see lots of that stuff. Pickup trucks in some of the larger cities, and you see lots of, I don't know if you can see that here, but blue number plates, so lots of gasoline cars still here. So this should actually be an interesting market to a brand like ONVO here, because ONVO is more affordable. But still, I would say in this segment here, what we can see in this city, ONVO is almost premium, even too expensive still for most of the people to afford it. Changsha is known for the fact that house prices are relatively cheap compared to the rest of the country. So people have actually more disposable incomes, although so they have more money to spend, right? So consumption is quite good here. Although the problem is that the wages aren't that high. So I just spoke with somebody, and sometimes people here, they make 5,000 yuan a month. That's the reality. But just also wanted to show you like what's it looking here on the ground. This might be Arcfox. Yes, it is a brand that I personally have written off already. But they are collaborating with Huawei, so they can possibly go a long way because they have Huawei technology integrated. And I think that is a big driver in general in the Chinese automotive industry here, that the big players like Huawei, who offer an operating system on top, they may be integrating lots of these other brands in the future when it comes to self-driving technology, where, by the way, we had some news that China's cracking down on false labeling of self-driving technology, which might not be a coincidence with that this is happening now after Tesla launches FSD in China. But generally, of course, more and more players are jumping on the bandwagon and kind of going out there and saying, our car can drive from A to B, hands off. And the Chinese regulators don't want to see that. They want to protect the Chinese consumer. So, yeah, behind me there's the big guys. That's Chang'an, having some sort of a promotion there. So you can see like one brand next to each other, huge car parks. That's just the situation. You have very good choice as a Chinese consumer. And these are the future markets which brands like ONVO need to win. But it may take some time for ONVO for building the brand and for places like this to economically develop further, because as I said, not everybody even can afford a 200,000 RMB car in this place already. So we see still people choosing gasoline cars here. We still see lots of smaller cars. We see more pragmatic, practical cars like pickup trucks as well. And yeah, I'm gonna look for some of these trends emerging, serving these markets here during the auto show this time, which is about to take place in Shanghai next week. And what will be interesting is also, I mentioned Chang'an now, to see hopefully the first battery swappable cars being shown in the auto show. So that's my expectation. By the way, in the back, an almost old legacy dinosaur here, Nissan, which, these brands might still be doing okay-ish here in this area, where not everybody drives a NIO or Li Auto or a Xiaopeng car yet. Yeah, these are rather still for the first early adopters here, but of course will at some point look more and more like Shanghai and Beijing over time, right? Just do want to give you, a little bit of a view how this is looking here on the ground, and what's the reality here in some of these cities which you possibly have never heard of, but which there are many of in China. And I just picked Changsha now for a chance here. There are many more inside the country, and the question is like, what can NIO do to be part of this trend? Are they aligned with that? I think, again, ONVO should technically be able to ride the wave here, but might be early in terms of the pricing and the consumption level. And then Firefly is definitely good to have a smaller car also here, maybe a more affordable car as well. But still, within that section, in that segment, NIO will be priced or positioned rather on the top, okay? So skimming the upper side of the market, that's for sure. Anyways, thanks for watching and see you in my next videos.